What is up, fellow slaves? I mean students. I am here with my senior footprint project. Let's get this started. Alright, so, going into high school my freshman year, I was scared, much like the rest of you. Now, I'm a naturally smart guy, so school before this was mainly reading, drawing, and social stress more than anything. In high school, I thought I could just do the same. I was never so wrong. My grades were an absolute bombshell, and of course, I was too lazy to fix that. In the words of my favorite book series, far be it from me to ever let my common sense get in the way of my stupidity. This is the method with which I lived freshman and sophomore year, which is a pretty convenient segue into the next year. As a sophomore, all I can say that I got better was my artwork, because God knows my grades didn't improve. Aside from classwork, I actually had been suffering from depression for a few years, and my mistakes, coupled with some social anxiety, only served to make that worse. To quote the same book series, life is all about learning how to deal with the consequences of all the bad decisions we've made. Well, it was a little touch and go for a bit there, but I made it out of sophomore year alive, passing, and all the wiser for the year to come. Ah, junior year. I remember it like it was. Oh, right. Yeah, junior year was quite the long one, but let me make another quote and say, when the going gets tough, the tough get napalm. Now, I had to study if I wanted to pass, and pass I did, but not without a newly sharpened sense of sarcasm and being a general smart, you know. I learned how to study from a semester of academic decathlon, never doing that again. I picked up a job and hobby and became much better off in my grades and socially. Things weren't all great though. The studying, work, and my impassioned hobby all overlapped and left me extremely stressed from lack of sleep or whatever else life decided to throw at me. Obviously, I'm here and just as sarcastic today, so I managed to get over things somehow. I have a bit of time, so I'm gonna throw in some comments about senior year, or rather, what I intend to leave by the end of it. Now, I know this is called the Senior Footprint Project based off the idea that you're leaving behind a footprint for other students. But honestly, I don't think that's what it's all about. Let me ask you a question. Did you go through high school just following other people's footsteps instead of doing your own thing? No, of course not. So rather than leaving some legend behind me or something, I'm gonna leave behind my mistakes. I want my footprint to be behind me and stay there. And with it, I plan to leave behind my laziness, bad habits, and the stressful life that I had built for me. To finish things off with yet another quote, let me tell you something. Even though we look calm and peaceful on the outside, most of us are barely hanging on by our fingernails. You're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one with stress both inside and outside of school. And that is a life I want to leave behind me. Or maybe I should say the footprint I want to leave behind.